Alright, hello everyone, Don here with the next taxi test report. As you can see, that was 2 runs that I just done. The first one, I noticed the camera had fell down like that on the run, so not sure how much of it you might have missed, but that second run was a lot better. The camera seemed to stay in place. Don't know if you noticed, but the sound on the plane now with this new tail wheel is extremely quiet. I can't hear a thing out of it. This is the one that the guy down here at the local airport, Fred, gave me to I'll have to buy another one, replace it, but that thing's whisper quiet, friend, folks. So that was a big thing there. What I ended up doing is making a pair of flange bushings. This bushing goes in 1/4 inch, and it's 1/2 inch ID, 3/4 inch OD here with a 5/16 hole through it. And it comes in 1/4 inch. And then this one is the same thing. It started out as 3/4, neck down to 1/2 inch, but it's 1/2 inch long. So they both come in from each side, squeeze in. The bolt goes through the bearings, through the spacer in the middle, and then a nut and washer on this side, and it's great. Got 30 pounds of air in it. It could probably stand a little more, 40 or 50 pounds. Not bad, but it's beautiful. Just tracks beautiful, sounds great. So I'm really happy with that. So, all right, on those 2 runs, down here it's got to be after 8 o'clock now. There's the sunset behind the clouds. We're at 8:30, if you could see that. I can't really see it in the, well, sorry. It was 8:25. So, I came down, put the tail wheel on, got that on, and then when I did the oil change, I didn't notice it when I pulled the drain plug, but there was a gasket on there I found in the bucket when I dumped the oil out. After I got home, I was putting the used oil into a jug, and I seen the washer, and I was like, oh man. So I had to come back today. All I had to do is pull the pins out, unbolt the bottom, drop it off, got the bucket out again, just pulled the drain plug, had the washer in my hand, I stuck my thumb on the hole, put the washer on, stuck back in. I didn't lose an ounce of oil. I mean, probably 1/2 ounce. But put it back on, looked everything over, buttoned it back up. I didn't have any problems with the oil on the muffler smoking. I'd never seen a little lick of smoke, never even smelled a thing. But it's still wet, damp, because I sopped it up with those blue shop towels, those, can't remember what they're called, but anyway, I kind of sopped it all up. I didn't have any spray or cleaner or anything to put on it to do it. But my first run, if you got to see it all, when the tail came up, this time the tail was completely all the way up, because I could literally see over top of the cowling and see all the way down the end of the runway. I mean, I was looking out over it like that, you know, so, but I could see the end of the runway. It was the last time with the tail up video, it wasn't quite fully up. I had to stick full forward to get her to come up, and then I just kind of pulled the power a little bit to keep it there, and then I ran, had to be 25-30 seconds on that first run. And then the second one was pretty similar, but again, had the nose all the way down. The airplane was in flying attitude, and it was still starting to accelerate, so I easing on the throttle enough. But it's amazing how far that tail has to come down to set back down when you're bringing the power back, waiting for that tail to start working its way down, and then you think, man, when's this thing going to stop? You know, it just keeps going and going and going. You get it up just high enough, you can see over it, and then you get used to that, and then you think that there's no tail wheel on the plane when it finally comes down and touches down while you're slowly pulling power. But I did happen to look down at the airspeed on the first run, and I was over 60 mile an hour, pushing close to 65. It wasn't quite 65, but it was between 60 and 65. I just glanced enough just to look at and see where I was at while I was tracking straight, because I didn't want it to get, again, too fast so it would take off. But as far as tonight, the winds were, on the radio said 030 at 3. So literally, that's why I came from the west end, which was runway 7, heading east into a very, very, very slight headwind. Never even noticed it. But I was just on the left rudder the whole time, and it was tracking good. I was going to try and throw the camera on the tail, but because of the first one falling down on me, I wanted to redo it again. So But now it's getting a little late. Fred actually took off in his plane just before I did, so he's out there tooling around. So, so we talked for a little bit after I did that first run, and then I let him take off, and then I did that second run. So what I didn't mention with that other tire, I did take it out, like I said, and I run it around the ramp and around the taxiway down there, because that's the noisiest part of material to taxi on with that solid wheel. But at 5 miles an hour, that rear airplane was going like this. It was just bouncing like crazy. And if you speed up a little bit, it would smooth out, but you could still feel it back here. And it's like, well, there's no way I can run it like that, because it was bad, man. It was just shaking my belly like Santa Claus, you know. So, but that one, perfectly quiet, perfectly smooth, absolutely great. And because the winds were just basically non-existent now, there's just a little more out of the north, but I can feel a very, very light breeze, basically coming pretty close to north. North is pretty much that way, but very, very light. And didn't notice it, didn't feel it. So I'm pretty sure that all that stuff I felt before I thought was crosswinds. Some of it was crosswinds, because there was those 90-degree crosswinds, but I think most of that I was feeling was just from that rudder being too sensitive. Right now it feels great, so I'm just going to keep plugging away on these things for a little bit longer, just to get some seat time and get accustomed to that nose sight down the nose. And but that was great. I mean, I had no problem holding center line at all, and just working the pedals. You know, they're just so easy and simple to use now. It just feels great. So I don't want this video going too long. Problem with this little camera is it'll record for like 15 minutes, and then it like stops recording, and it starts recording again, or it keeps continually recording, but it like stops a recording and then starts a second one. But when you merge them together, it's seamless. Why it doesn't continue to run up to the 2-hour limit of the battery, I don't know. But it seems like it gets up to I think it's like 2.5, must be megs. Because when I did the video last night that I posted that people have watched already, they were running. It was only 2.3 gigs of data with those two clips, and the second part of the clip was only 2 minutes long at that. So most of it was caught in the first part. So I'll get both of these videos uploaded as one tonight, so you can see it. But so far, I'm very, very pleased. Very, very pleased with it. She is running super, super great. So not sure what else to report on other than the tail wheel's good. Put the drain back in, seal back in the drain plug, and it did have a drop of oil on it, but there was none in the cowl, so it was just not meant to be without a gasket. So the thing is, I never even seen it fall. It must have stuck to the oil pan, and then when I took the plug out, let it drain into the bucket, I turned around, got a rag, dried the plug off. It must have fell off the pan, and I didn't see it. So I dumped most of that oil into the old the 5-quart jug that I used, the Nuka oil, but there was still some in the thing, and I had a blue shop towel in there, and it was underneath that. So today when I went to dump the rest of it out and make sure the oil filter was empty, I seen it in there. So luckily I caught that. I mean, it would have eventually leaked a little bit, but for some reason the synthetic stuff doesn't seem to smoke when it gets hot. So at least not that I can see. So I think that's Fred coming back right now. I can hear him. He's behind the hangar here somewhere. He's got that, there he goes. That's got a Volkswagen, like 2200 cc stroker, big bore. So, alright folks, I'm going to go ahead and button this thing up. I got the key, just got to close the cowling, push back in, pull the car out, lock up, and head for home. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. So, I get this pushed back in. Like I said, I wanted to come back here and get a view from here, but because the camera fell on that first one, I wanted to make sure I got a good side view for your folks on that. And hopefully, it's a lot smoother. I took out that vibration dampener that caused it to flutter the last time, so now it's back to the original mount. So there probably is some shaking in there from taxiing over bumps and such, but hopefully that rollout had a nice smooth image to it. Keep your fingers crossed. Again, this isn't the most expensive camera in the world, but figured it's something to test, and it'll give me an idea of where to go from here with videos in the future. So, alright, I'm going to put this down so I can close this thing up and head for home, folks. So again, as always, appreciate you taking time to watch these videos. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, or concerns, and I will see you guys again probably next weekend. Today is only Sunday, but Monday is supposed to be nice. Tuesday they're calling for thunderstorms. So, alright folks, feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns, and appreciate the ones that you guys are leaving now and all the questions. There are still some people are getting a little annoyed with the fixes, and it's like, well, in your statement, your comment, there's one important word in that comment. Yes, I'm fixing things. But most of the stuff, you know, the tail wheel is just a nuisance. It doesn't need fixed. It's a 5-minute swap. It's nothing hard to do with that. So, but hey, people don't like it, go watch somebody else's videos flying. Otherwise, shut up and just enjoy. All right, folks. I will catch you probably next weekend at the latest. So for now, this is Dino Done out.